Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Hudson, and tonight I am guest host, perhaps permanent host, of The Art of War. And joining us tonight, we have Spy Tattoos, Goblin Grin, and Red Robot, ready to draw tonight. Let's hit that intro.
Look out!
All right, welcome to another episode of The Art of War, the drawing show that dares to award somebody something as a prize for winning. And tonight, our artists are drawing for a Hobby Lobby gift card. That's tonight's prize. We will be having a poll going up in the chat near the end of the show. And what you do is if you are watching at home, listening to us, you can log in, click on that, and go to the poll and vote for whoever you think has done the best job tonight and would like to award them with that, I believe, a $25 gift card to Hobby Lobby. Good enough to pick up some paper, some pens, a couple of markers, you know, whatever you feel like. And tonight we have some great artists with us. Spy Tattoos on Instagram. And please tell us a little bit about yourself and where people can find you.
Well, that's pretty much it right now. I mean, I'm Spy Tattoos everywhere on the intrawebs, but that's pretty much the place to go to find the good body of my work is on Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate you guys having me on. It's awesome.
All right, anytime. Goblin, give us a little bit of an introduction if you can.
I don't know. Is my sound working?
We can hear you. You're coming through.
Okay, that's good.
You sound like you're in Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm just on mostly on Instagram and Facebook under Goblin Grin. Just got Store and Shop up and going recently, and I believe that's also under Goblin Grin on Store.
All right, awesome. And Red Robot, where can the folks listening and watching at home find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram under Red Robot 3D. I'm also on Twitter under the same name. To be born, it's a little spicy. It's a little sexy, but I think you all will enjoy it.
All right, awesome. Great to have you again, too. Tonight, let's see, this weekend is 4th of July weekend, and for those of you listening across the pond or around the globe, that's the time when we here in the States celebrate the birth of our nation. So I got a little bit of a spin on that. One of the landmarks in our country that is really well known is Mount Rushmore. We have a little bit of controversy going on with Mount Rushmore. But Mount Rushmore depicts 5 of our greatest presidents and, that have really formed this country. So tonight's theme, I want each individual artist to draw their Mount Rushmore of their personal nerddom. So who would you put on there? And it doesn't have to be all comics. You can do comics, anime, toys, whatever the influence, whatever your big influence was as a childhood, your big nerddom kick. That's what we're going to be drawing tonight. So creating your own nerd Mount Rushmore. Think you guys can handle it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we'll go ahead and formally begin, and we are off to the races.
Hey guys, I want to pop in here for a second.
Hey, glad to see you around, man.
I am. I'm still here, but I'm just running the board tonight. But I do have a question from Indie Vote Radio. I'm gonna put my Indie Vote logo up too, because Randy's been in here.
Yes, our intrepid CEO did not give me board control, so I can't see emails or comments.
Yeah, I should have told you to sign in. I gave you board control. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I did want to tell you guys from Indie Vote Radio, we got a gentleman who wrote in and wants to know. Says he wants to say that he's been watching the show, and he says that he has saved at least $700 so far in art supplies by switching to digital.
Wow.
Thoughts on that, guys? I mean, is digital a cost saving procedure or a cost saving measure?
Well, I just spent $2,000 on it on digital alone.
Like I've been
But-
drawing mainly on my. Oh, wait, go ahead. I'm sorry. You were saying?
No, that's cool. But I've spent way more than that on traditional equipment, for sure.
Yeah, I just kind of think back to my art school days, all of the traditional materials that I would buy, and it would just be just big, huge sacks full of money just going out the window to keep buying art supplies. I was really big into Doc Martin dyes, and those were $6-7 a bottle back in the early 2000s, comparable to our Copic marker prices of today. And of course, buying Copic marker wasn't around back then, but there was tons of Prismacolor, and I was always going through those. So I think digital does save you money, but that's only in the long term. You know, you have to front that beginning cost, and then you start saving money as you keep using the equipment. But then you got to upgrade every once in a while. So I guess it just really comes down to personal preference at some point. You know, if you're one of those guys who can get our boy, he's been using Photoshop 7 now for 10-20 years. So good old Gold Randy there hasn't had to upgrade yet, but so I guess if you can just stand using old tech, you can make it last a long time.
I'll say I'm like you. When I was in college, I was spending like a lot of money every semester buying brand new art supplies, paper, pencil, rulers, the Copic pens. When I finally went digital, at front, it is a lot of money. Like, say, if you want to buy a new computer every 2 to 2.5 years, that's about $2,000.
Okay.
And I recently was switched over to an iPad about a year and a half ago, and they're about $1,000. But I've basically made my money back and then some since I've gone digital.
Yeah, I recently got into the iPad game too, and it's definitely paid for itself. I suffer from a number of health problems, and if I sit at my studio for too long, I get tremendous lower back pain. So I can just, through the miracle of Clip Studio and cloud-based storage, I can switch everything to Clip Studio on my iPad and go lay down in my Tempur-Pedic mattress and draw and save my back. We've got Glenn Ford chiming in the comments, which I cannot post because Varian did not give me control of the board tonight. He says, "Hey guys, happy Friday from the world of action figures." Hey, there we go. Varian's still listening. And we got Lola, the Indie Princess, saying, "Hey guys, I'm here now. LOL. Always wonderful to have you." And,
Indie Princess is out.
yes. So, yeah, anybody else watching, feel free to chime in on the comments, and we'll get them up on the board.
And I can always pop in and read questions from Indie Vote Radio.
Please do, because I cannot see those questions because you did not give me control of the board tonight.
Well, the Indie Vote Radio questions don't come up here either way anyway, but a lot of them are questions that were from last week that people send in and they listen, to hear us answer them. Question from...
No, hold on. You didn't answer the question that you asked earlier because you've been struggling to switch to digital. Do you want to comment a little bit on that?
Sure. For me, switching to digital is it's different. I mean, I've done some of the tricks. I went and got the screen protector that makes it feel more like paper. I've went and got the pencil grips, so all these little tricks and stuff, but it's like this disconnect, and I know it's mental. It's mental. I know it's not a real disconnect, but it's just I can't do it. And then another thing I do, guys, which you guys are gonna laugh at, is that when I erase, I recently found out that I could. Well, not recently, but I had the tablet for about a month before I realized I could flip the pencil and erase, like traditionally. And now I blow on the board to erase the shavings away.
Yeah, I've swept away some crumbs that I didn't have there before. I have.
Yeah, so, but I haven't been able to make that full conversion. So I'm still buying art supplies. As a matter of fact, I went to the art store today, partly because of the show and also because I'm getting ready to start a new project. So, I'm still spending money.
You got a new project again? Another new project?
Yeah. Well, this time I was given a project. I was told, "Damn it, you're gonna draw this," and I said, "Okay." Uh, Trico Lutkins in the house. Says no variant. Find the inmate to run the asylum. Mwahaha. And said, "Damn it, I spoke too soon."
It's only temporary. It's only a temporary problem, Trico. He'll be gone in a minute.
Yeah. I now here's what I can do. Hold on, let me see here. Give me 1 second.
You could jump in and draw your Mount Rushmore with us.
I could do that.
Yeah.
But, there we go. There you go. All right.
I like what I'm seeing from Red Robot. He's got his screen is up on our big screen right now, getting a little bit of Optimus Prime coming in there. And is that a Snake Eyes you're working on?
Yes, it is.
Coming
Nice.
together already. Jesus.
Well, I know already God has got to be
Jesus.
damn near finished.
Okay, now I've been against breaking fingers for a little bit now, but I look at my page and I look at Goblin's page and I'm thinking,
Are those? Do we have illustrations of artists that were your inspiration? Is that what we got going on here?
I got Stan Lee and Stephen
Lee?
King so far.
All right. Okay. Hey, that's applicable. It doesn't always have to be some character on TV.
And
It can be
Spy,
the
you
people who
can,
created those
you can
characters.
switch your screen, Spy, if you need to.
yeah, I keep playing with it. It's the first time on StreamYard,
Ah,
so I was just checking. It does actually link up with OBS though, which makes me happy.
oh yeah, Eric's using OBS for all this stuff.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that's
I got all my.
overlay.
I can put all my folder carve around the frame, and
Yeah.
Varian can cover it up with his. It works out great.
Yeah,
Tell you though, if you use the Virtua Cam plugin, which is amazing plugin,
Yep.
you can switch between cameras on the fly. Because what I usually do for this show when I'm drawing is I'll be over on my drawing table and I can switch out my drawing table at any time, like that. And you can set that up so you can switch to screen mode, however you want to do it. But with the virtual camera, it allows you to operate through StreamYard and have multiple cams going back and forth. But
Yeah, I've done it with Skype before, where I've used my my Streamlabs, but today was not the day to get it going.
yeah, it's a separate plugin. You got to download it separately and install it, start and stop it. And I learned I was doing a live stream on my Instagram through a program called Yellow Duck, which allowed me to take the webcam footage from my drawing table behind me and put it in a little vertical box on Instagram as a live video. It worked out really good, except for in OBS Studio, your scenes get altered. All of your scenes get altered. So I have like 2 scenes that have been saved, one for all of this screen stuff in the drawing table, and I made a new one specifically for Instagram. Well, for Instagram, it's vertical streaming, so you have to set it up to be, 1080 by 1920 long. I did that, and it changed the screen on my other scenario as well. So I had to go back in and retype it and move things around for tonight's broadcast. Kind of irritating. Love to see a future plugin fix that. But in the meantime, yeah, you just have to keep changing those resolutions. And I do recommend Yellow Duck. It worked out pretty seamlessly. It's a free program. You log in with your credentials for Instagram. You put your stream key and your other whatever information it has for you, and it'll log into your Instagram for you, and then you control that through OBS Studio to be able to broadcast straight to Instagram. Lola the Empty Princess chiming in, and you didn't spend money on the supplies I did.
Yeah, she did. She bought them all.
Wow. So she's full serious going into this comic book making business. That's great.
Yeah.
Trico coming in. It's only a temporary problem. He'll be gone in a minute. Quotes. Is what I've been saying for years. LOL. Glenn Ford, Dreaded Dinosaur. Are you drawing as well? No, I won last week. And Varian was looking to kind of segue and have me be the host of this show. So tonight is the dry run for that. I'm sure I'll be back at some point. I know Varian, he can't give something up for very long before he takes it back.
I'm it's funny. I've been looking to do as little as possible. I'm like, waking up now is like an effort. Like, oh my God, I have to get up,
We gotta get you on a CBD regimen, man, because it is definitely life changing.
Maybe, you know, the store across street from my house, they got all kind of CBD
Just
stuff.
start with the gummies. I actually got my dad to try the gummies, and he said the neuropathy in his feet was a lot better. So, yeah, go for it. I've signed up with a wholesaler that I found out through a friend who was doing an actual big production through this wholesaler and had to quit because of the business of the thing that should not be putting him out of business in that area. So he gave me his wholesaler info, and it saves a lot of money off buying them in the store. I can get a pretty good deal on a package of 10 gummies that pretty good milligrams. So
Glenn says that he is glad you're taking a break from drawing every week. He hasn't taken a break. He's been drawing today. I guarantee you. He's just not drawing on the show. Yeah, he's
I got projects lined up the wazoo. My friends at High Spots Wrestling have been very kind to me. They've been doing a lot of signings, and so I've got 3 different projects in the work under their umbrella right now, various stages of development that I got to get done before the 9th of July. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be burning the midnight oil tonight.
Another question from Any Vote Radio in regards to drawing. I know we've talked about this for a while, but guys, if you're behind on a project, and this is a question. This is from Mitchell. Mitchell actually is from the UK, and he says, if you're behind on the project, like several pages behind, and his letter's funny. He says several pages, like maybe a whole book. Behind on the project. It's due out in the first week of August. How soon should I? He says, what's too late to come out to your publisher and tell the truth?
I would do it immediately. You never want to. You don't want to be that guy who becomes completely unreliable and dependable. So, as much honesty as you can put forward and be professional as a business person, that's what you want. I mean, you basically need to behave the way that you would want somebody who you're hiring to behave towards you. Yeah. Think of it in those terms. So if our buddy in the UK was hiring somebody to draw a comic book for him, would you want him to wait till you got to go to the print, next week? Say, I don't have it done? No, because there's there's steps involved. There's other costs in preparing a big production run that you're going to have to cover. And give them as much time as possible to get things fixed. Goblin adding Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, to his wonderful Mount Rushmore. So yeah, that's cool.
He just wanted to add boobs.
Wow.
Eric, who's on your Mount Rushmore?
I was thinking of that when I was thinking of this idea of a project. I would probably definitely put Optimus Prime on mine. That would definitely be an addition in there. And I'm I could probably do the whole thing just from 80s cartoons. But I wanted to think a little bit harder of it because I'm more than just what I liked as a kid that I still like now.
Yeah.
So I would probably add something like Natsu from Fairy Tail. It's one of my all-time favorite animes. So I think he'd be good on there. And if I wanted to draw boobs, I could put Lucy from the show or Urza, because she's a really great character too. Any representative character from that show, even Happy the Cat would be a perfect addition. Just because that show is just so good, and it's it's my favorite anime. If I had to nail down and say I have one favorite anime, it would definitely be Fairy Tail. So that takes care of 2 of them. If I was going to add in a couple more, because I believe I misspoke and said 5. I think there's 4 presidents. I should know that off the top of my head. Adding a couple of more, I'd probably say Captain Kirk from Star Trek maybe, or a representative from Star Wars possibly as well. Maybe Darth Vader. I think Darth Vader would probably be pretty good to add into that, even though he's not a good guy. But again, it's the things that kind of stick with you. And other than that, I like where Goblin's going with Stan Lee. I think definitely is a good person to add to a Mount Rushmore of nerddom. If you want to do film, you could probably do somebody like Steven Spielberg. Brought us all those wonderful, like the Terminator, for crying out loud. Yeah. You could put Alien or Predator on there. There's so many things you could do with this.
I
that's
think
where I'm at. I'm like, there's just too many. If I
Yeah.
pick 4, the other ones are gonna be, they're gonna be mad. Where did I come in?
I think for me, it's got to be, I mean, like if I wasn't doing characters, you guys might laugh about this, but for me, it's gonna be if I had to choose people that were alive, flesh and blood, it's gonna be Steve Jobs.
Good one.
It's gonna be Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Stan Lee is definitely on there,
I'd be disappointed in you if you didn't say that.
and more than likely Will Smith. And
Okay.
I think those would be the 4 on my Mount Rushmore.
Michael Odin's in the chat asking what the challenge is. We're doing a Mount Rushmore of nerddom, basically. What influences us from nerddom, and it can be, all of our characters from our past. We've got quite a broad range of different iconic characters: Stan Lee, Elvira, Optimus Prime, Snake Eyes. So there's a whole huge range. So Michael, who would you put in? Glenn, who would you put in? What would be your Mount Rushmore of nerddom?
Yeah, Trico and Lola, 2 of there in the chat still.
Absolutely.
Yeah, who would you put on your Mount Rushmore? Now, if I was doing characters, definitely Wolverine's going up there. Wolverine, Optimus Prime, Alvin from Alvin the Chipmunks.
Alvin, really? You want to elaborate on that?
Actually, Alvin is one of the first characters that I ever drew. Because at the time, I was born in 82. They just redid the Alvin the Chipmunks cartoon, made it more modern, and they had I was a big fan of it, loved Alvin the Chipmunks, and they hadn't had toys yet. So my Aunt Pearl, who's pretty creative, would make these paper dolls for me. Basically, she would draw these toys, or she would draw the chipmunks, and then she would cut out cardboard, glue it on the cardboard so they would be, rigid and could stand. And I'd play with the chipmunks. She made me a big, huge, she made their house for me and everything. It was really cool. And she did a really good job on it. But as paper usually does, because I played with them, they were my favorite. I played with them so much. They got raggedy, they got torn, broken. So I'd have her redraw them. And she'd redraw them and redraw them. And she also would expand on their world a bit. And so like she would, she would draw a Dave and a Miss Miller and other little side characters, because there were no action figures yet at this point for these characters. There were no action figures, and so I would ask her to redraw them, and I'm like 4, and I must have been like 4 years old, and can you redraw them, please? And she says, "No, I'm not. I'm not going to redraw them for you. You can draw." And I must have had a shit fit. I don't want to draw. I don't want to draw. And but I drew them, and it's funny because I was so petty, narcissistic. Even at 4, I said mine looks better than yours, and so I started drawing them myself. Luckily for me, someone got greedy and finally made the action figures, and I bought all those up left and right. And but yeah, that's why Alvin's like a big character to me. He's a very important character in my life. And then probably Zach Morris.
Really?
Zach Morris, Saved by the Bell. Yeah. Zach Morris got to go up there.
I thought more of you was a Screech person, but
yeah. Michael says, that sounds fun. I might try and draw one and post up and tag you. The characters: Achilles, the Shadow, Cap, and Spider-Man. He's gonna put Captain Marvel. No, he's gonna put Captain America, I'm sure.
pick whichever cap you want. It's just a hat. Just a hat.
I'm so excited.
Trico's completely lost on what we're doing tonight. Comic characters are real life people. Trico, it's whoever inspires you from nerddom. So like, whatever what makes you tick? What brought you into this realm? Like, what would be your top 4 there? Lola chiming in, Indie Princess. For characters, it would have to be Jack Skellington, Cheshire Cat, Harley Quinn, and Spawn. I can think of a lot of people that would probably have some of those characters. I know our buddy Josh would definitely put Jack Skellington in there.
Yeah. Glenn says his nerd Mount Rushmore would be Optimus Prime, Stan Lee, Purgatory, and Captain America. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. Purgatory is also Lola's family name. Purgatory.
I would even think about putting Red Sonja in there for me because I think out of all the comics I've collected more Red Sonja books. That's probably the one I've followed the most. It's still kind of a little dream of mine to at least do one cover for a Red Sonja book at one point in my life before I hang it up.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Do you send any of your Red Sonja out over to Dynamic?
I need to. It's one of those things where
Dynamite.
a lot of other artists have the same hang up where it's just not good enough to send yet. And you keep doing that for years and years and years. I fall into that trap.
Mm.
And you know what? I've seen their account, and hopefully they won't watch this, but there is some crap that they repost on their Instagram.
I reposted one of my drawings.
I mean, I look at it and I'm like, if they're reposting this, why don't I send this other stack of 100 things in?
Because it's. I don't know about you guys, but I surround my table, that's my office area, with as much art as I can from artists I admire, and it's a double-edged sword because I do that, and I'm like, oh man, this doesn't look as good as what he would do, and I start getting kind of discouraged. But so there's a lot of Michael Turner art around my office. There's a lot of Mark Silvestri art around my office. Frank Cho, just J. Scott Campbell, guys that I think are, Dave Gibbons, just guys that are fantastic artists. And I'm always like, man, I can't outdo. Andy Parker's another one. Oh God, I don't even want to look at it when he draws. It's like I'm not looking at that. And it took me.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It took me a while to actually like Jack Kirby. It took me a while. I have to grow into liking him. Yeah. I at first I was like, this is horrible. What is this? And then as I got older, I'm like, oh, I get it. Oh, wait a minute. And I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, I wouldn't have done that. Oh my God, I'm so yeah. And then
that's good, man.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you why I do not like who I do not like, because they make us look bad. This person here, this Goblin Grim guy.
Already sitting in the light box and putting in some final lines there.
Representing there too.
Like it's I'm picking up some feedback, but it's okay. I have to mute Goblin's background for his background sound. But the problem is Goblin Grim is a lot like Randy, very fast. With the pencil, I don't like it. I can't do that. If I do that, it's because I'm sketching.
Red Robot, is that Commander Data? Just taking a stab in the dark.
He might be frozen.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's frozen. Let's see here.
Check out Spy Tattoo and see what he's drawing there.
All right.
Okay, see if I can dust it off here and give you a little.
Iron Man, Captain America coming in. Oh my gosh, that little devil character is so familiar. Where is that from?
That's hot stuff.
It's hot stuff.
Yeah, and that's Judge Dredd. That's Judge Dredd.
That's going for Judge Dredd. Is what that's going for.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to do Thundar the Barbarian, and especially because you were talking about Kirby. That was a very good inspiration.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But man, that's he's just a bland looking Conan looking.
They made me put. What was the name of the villain in that show that had the double head?
Oh man,
that character was that was very Kirby. That was very, very Kirby.
Yeah, he did have a name, but he was only in it like a couple episodes, I think, even. But he was well known. I don't know off the top of my head. It's hard to find.
Lola says
I just found it.
Sorry about that. Lola says, I love Purgatory and Witchblade. Glenn says, Red Sonja will be a good replacement for Purgatory on mine. Trico says, Optimus Prime, Spider-Man, Rudy from Monster Squad, and Peter Venkman. Peter Venkman will be cool, but I got a confession for you guys. I'm going to be Peter Venkman from the cartoon.
I get that. I can get that.
It would not be Peter Venkman from the movies. I love Lorenzo's voice. I love the fact that he talks like this. It's like that's Garfield's voice coming out of a human. This is awesome.
Somebody refresh my memory. Where is Hot Stuff from? Because I don't remember it.
It's an Archie comic.
Archie comic. Okay.
Yeah. It's
Did he
Yeah,
interact with the
when-
Archie characters at all, or was it a standalone?
it's pretty much a standalone, like their Casper books.
Yeah, Casper, like Little Wendy and the Good
Okay.
Little Witch, whatever. And
Oh, okay. I got
some
you
of those
now.
are like old the first comics I've ever read.
Okay. Weren't those also published by Dell at one point? Some of the older ones.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. We'd have to go to resident expert Randy for that. But yeah, I'm not sure. Lotus says Hot Stuff is awesome. Glenn says Frank Cho is great. Liberty Meadows is one of my all-time favorite books. Yeah.
I want to pick up his newest creation, the Girl Fight book. I've seen some pages in production, and it looks really fun.
Yeah. Thunder was awesome. And Peter Triangle says true. Peter Venkman from the movies is a bit odd.
Well, they had to make changes for the cartoon, for the real Ghostbusters cartoon, because the characters needed to stand out more. They wanted them to be more individualized. So they did a really good job, changing up the colors. And, again, giving Egon the signature red glasses and the blonde pompadour hair. It had a really good look of its own. And it had to be called The Real Ghostbusters because there was another cartoon based on an old, like 1930s Ghostbusters serial. It started like a gorilla and this adventurer going after these ghosts. Yeah. So there was a little bit of confusion there. So the cartoon had to be called The Real Ghostbusters, which was kind of fun.
And I like that one too.
I did too. It was great.
I had those toys with what's his name, Benny the car.
Yeah.
And I still have Benny the car. He's out in the garage. He's scattered in boxes. But I love that. He had the car with the wheels that fold in. It was great.
The villain in that was really, really scary too. He had like this iron skull.
Yeah.
That kind of floated above this giant red, drapery. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's go, Ghostbusters. Let's go. Let's go. Glenn says, there room for me to jump in? Sure, Glenn, I can maybe send you a link. Link's been working really odd lately. I sent a couple out that haven't been answered, so we'll see what happens. Let's see here.
Red, who you drawing here since you're back?
It's Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk, awesome.
Did you guys know? And this was shocking to me, and it's one of those things we'll never get to see. Maybe an alternate timeline will have this. But did you guys know that they were afraid to put Harvey Dent into the 60s Batman?
Yeah.
Because they said it was too scary for children. But they said had they done it, they really, really wanted Will Shatner.
Oh my gosh, that would have been
And
incredible.
so Will Shatner did the voice in the cartoon 60s Batman cartoon.
Yeah.
They just redid. So it's really cool. Like the battle of the affected speech patterns. It's awesome.
You rang?
Yes. We had questions about we're doing comic book Rushmore. Eric, explain it real quick. You're much more elegant than I.
Yeah, we're doing basically a nerd Mount Rushmore. So whatever the individual artists have as what really influenced them in nerd and pop culture.
Okay.
And our good friend Spy Tattoos here is he's got the Iron Man, he's got Judge Dredd. He was gonna do Thunder, but looks like he's decided to add boobs.
Doing I had to go the route of Seth, Goblin Grim.
But he did Hot Stuff. Now Hot Stuff was Archie, right? But was Hot Stuff ever published on a Dell or a Gold?
No. Hot Stuff was Harvey. Harvey Comics, the same people who had Casper and Richie Rich.
Okay,
you can tell by the nose.
Yeah, I loved Richie Rich.
That's not Archie then? Is that
No.
Harvey?
Harvey Comics was the most un-PC comic company ever. They need to go down in history recognized as just the trailblazers. Today, there's not a single mainline Harvey comic that would be printed without people going absolutely ballistic.
Red Robot, we lost your screen.
They started with I believe it was
I'm trying to get
Casper.
back. My internet connection's not the best.
Okay.
Casper was started by another company and was doing I believe they were doing cartoons before that, and then Harvey come in and was printing it, and then they started a whole slew of comics along with it. The Ghostly Trio and Spooky smoked cigars originally to start with. Casper was an amazing character. We all know Casper, the friendly ghost. At the first couple of issues of Casper, he was so depressed that he couldn't make any friends. He kept trying to kill himself. I'm not lying. It's hilariously ingenious. So you had this ghost going around trying to commit suicide, tying ropes around his leg to a cinder block and throwing it off the dock and trying to hang himself. And oh yeah, they were amazing stuff. If you go back to it, Dark Horse did a series of reprints on some of the early Harveys because they're just that amazing. But like I said, nowadays you would never. All the SJWs and the politically correct people would just freak to read this stuff. You know, go think about what Harvey printed. Richie Rich, he's part of the 1%. He buys anything that he wants and has anything that he wants, and
Silver spoon in his mouth.
yeah, literally, yeah. Casper, like I mentioned before, Hot Stuff was a little devil, little demon character from hell running around.
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd ever see that today.
I couldn't remember right now because one he was Archie, so I apologize. So he is Archie, but we just thought about that, and I could not place where that character came from. And
I think that's why I thought it was from a Dell book, because those were published around the same time.
Yeah.
Well, Dell sprung out of Eastern Coloring Company, and Dell's been around had been around forever. They ended up being taken over, I believe, by Western Publishing. That turned into Gold Key.
And I think all of that stuff is now owned by Rittenhouse, isn't it?
I am not sure. I don't think I'm not sure who Rittenhouse is, honestly. But a lot of the Western, the Gold Key characters went to Valiant for a while, and now DC, or not DC, Dark Horse, I think kind of controls them. Turok, Son of Stone, and Magnus, and Solar, Man of the Atom. Those.
Well, I had heard from Bob Layton that Steven Spielberg had bought the rights to those particular characters because I think those were the ones. I think those were the ones that were owned by Rittenhouse and licensed to Valiant, licensed to Dell to be part of those older books.
Yeah, that's very likely. Yeah, but as far as Spielberg owning any superhero or any comic book characters, I have no idea about that. I've never run across it in my readings.
Yeah, that was something that I heard from Layton just in a conversation on the side. So.
Well, when it comes to those characters, I'm sure Bob would know. Bob Layton would absolutely know all about it.
Layton's always been one of my favorites. Hence the Iron Man. That he had a very architectural style. I love that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was great. The way he rendered metal was one of the hugest influences on me art-wise. He would definitely be. Yeah. If I was just doing an art influence, Mount Rushmore, he would definitely be my number one.
He was just a heck of an inker. Yeah.
That's why Iron Man's
like
number one.
Gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do got some fan art that was just sent to us. Drawing right alongside of us, Michael Oden, creator of Elysian Fields, did his Mount Rushmore. Turned it in quick, too. There it is. His Nerd Rushmore characters. He's got Achilles, Shadow, Cap, and Spider-Man.
Nice.
Very quick, the Michael Oden. Don't like that either. He's too quick. Can't have quick artists. I was told before, never be quick at anything.
Now, Trico is in the chat. He's asking, didn't Harvey do some superhero stuff too?
Yeah, they did. They did the Bee. They've tried to do a lot of different things over the years. Now they haven't kicked out anything in the last 20 or 30 years. I think there's another company that's got some of that stuff. All American Comics, something like that. That prints some of their stuff. Somebody's out there printing Hot Stuff right now, I think, too. Hot Stuff and Casper still coming out. The Harvey also did Sad Sack, which was a real lazy army dude. They did Little Dot, who was a little girl who was absolutely over the edge, mentally obsessed with dots. Had to have dots, anything dots. And then there was Little Lotta, who was would really easily be played by Rebel Wilson today. I'm surprised they haven't thought about doing a movie. There's a blonde girl who loved to eat and was super strong.
My mother, her name is Dorothy, and they call her Dot. So she has a
Yeah.
Wonder Woman and Little Dot collection
There you go.
of stuff. And I'm like, really? Really? Every time she sees Little Dot or she sees Wonder Woman. And unfortunately, this is, there's a lot of Wonder Woman stuff out right now. So every
Yeah.
time I go to the store, there's Wonder Woman stuff in my face. It's, hey, get me those. And they decided to do sweetheart ropes that are like, they're gold
Lassos.
sweetheart ropes. Yeah,
Yeah.
gold lassos. And so, that was $4 I'll never get back.
If they can cash in on it, they're going to figure out a way to do it. Especially right now, AT&T is so desperate for money that whatever you want to try, let's see.
Everything's for sale.
Mhm.
Eric, I'm looking at. It looks like Seth is going in there with the gray wash.
Oh my,
There we are.
that is awesome.
He's got a big piece going on too. He's filling up a page.
Yeah.
I definitely see Freddie in there.
Let's see here, and Spies had you. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
He's got the whole mountain in there. He's got some trees down there in the bottom.
There you go.
Trying to explain this as best I can for our listeners on Indie Volt Radio.
Yeah, and I can get your updated number. Give me a second. I'll get you an updated number for Indie Radio.
Spy, who's the beautiful buxom babe in the middle there?
That's the girl from Thundar, right?
Yeah.
What was her
Awesome.
name? Alana?
I think it's Ariel.
Ariel?
I mean, yeah.
I'd have to look it up.
Ukla the
I'm
Mok.
sure I can look at Ukla the Mok. He was
Yeah.
the monster, the Chewbacca character of the group. So
Yeah, dude, it's all about 2020. Just watch the trailer.
oh yeah.
Just
You're
watch the
right
beginning
there.
opening scene of that. The world
Yep.
has gone crazy because a meteor came in between the Earth and the Moon, and
Given the way 2020's gone so far, we could end up with that being very prophetic.
they
Yeah.
said there's one coming, so you never know.
that's the
29
message I was trying for.
29,147 people listening to Indie Vote Radio right now. Want to say hello to the UK. Want to say hello to Paris. Want to say hello to Germany, Mexico, China, and Japan. Thanks for rocking with us today. We really appreciate it. We got Mr. Hodson taking over as the host. There he is. That's him.
Well, I'm trying to, except Varian didn't give me control of the board tonight, so he's still with us in spirit in order to.
Yeah, I'm popping out of here. I'm out of here. I just popped in to see.
Well, you'll need to put up the poll in a little while here
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And get that going.
It's Princess Ariel.
Princess Ariel.
Yeah, that's why I was.
Ariel.
thinking I was- Yeah, that's why I thought I was wrong, because I was like, Ariel, it's got something else. It's Princess. 'Cause she's
Just like
Well.
Little Mermaid.
So the goblin is frozen. It appears.
Wow.
good. You need to stay frozen for a little while.
There he
Oh,
is.
there we are. A little bit of latency coming in there. He's working so fast that the computer can't keep up. Got Freddy Krueger, Elvira, Stan Lee. Yeah, it's looking great. Michael Oden chimes in on the chat. He says if he ever have Friday off, he might come on here. Our shows are fun.
Was there anything else that I can help you with before I take back off?
I think that's all we had. Thank you for setting us straight on Casper and Hot Stuff and all of
Yeah.
that wonderful thing.
Fighting
Yeah.
American, I think Boys Ranch is connected to Harvey. Harvey was kind of a sleaze company. They'd pop in and out all the time, and they're currently out, and some of their licensing are being printed by other companies. So, but if you ever want to read the good stuff, Dark Horse did whole collections on them, and all the Harvey stuff is very interesting to read, especially the early stuff.
I'm gonna write a note of that.
So after a while, Ernie Colin became their artist of reference, and he did a lot of stuff for them back during the 70s and 80s. But the real early stuff is the stuff you need to look for. But right as Wendy, the good little witch, was brought in, and Nightmare the horse, the ghost horse, and it's just some crazy stuff. You look at it from today's perspective, and it's like, wow, dudes, what the heck?
It's kind of like when you actually listen to lyrics from some of the songs back in the day too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Randy, before you leave, where can they find you at?
They can't. I'm hiding.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in my basement, in my hole.
That was
Oh, no,
supposed to be my line for the night too.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I told
No.
you, folks. I told you he can't give it up. He'll give you something and he'll take it back. I said, no,
I
this is
see he's
mine.
changed my name to Know-It-All. Yeah, Professor Know-It-All.
When are we going to start seeing Judge Zim?
I don't know. Didn't somebody have a package heading my way with
The
the robe
costume
and
is on its way. Yeah, it actually got a letter from Amazon email saying that your packet has been back ordered. Sending it to Eric a while ago.
You'll
but-
be lucky to see it by September then. Jesus
But
Christ.
then
Freaking
it-
Amazon could kick,
But then it did start moving. So it was in Indiana this morning. So
it's actually on the move.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well,
Where in the
I-
world is my freaking package?
you have to play that now all the time. And I'm in the apparel business, and my local shirt distributor's been down ever since the pandemic sprung up, and I don't know if he's even coming back. And now I'm having to go through 3 or 4 different locations and beg for shirts from who knows where, in order to try to fulfill people's orders. But anyway, you can find me on
Oh, good
Facebook.
luck.
I'm on Twitter under Randy Zim, though I don't twit very often. I got the Zim Geek channel on YouTube, which I swear there's new content coming up eventually. And you can find me on the Indie Volt channel on right here on that radio that Varian loves so much. Thursday mornings at 9 a.m. and Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Both of those are Eastern Standard Time. So where we talk
All right.
about comic books and old
Dude,
memories.
I like your input a lot on the videos too. You got good insight on a lot of things that from the last 4 or 5 I've watched. I like the content
Yeah.
you put out.
I haven't put anything up in quite a few months, and I really need to. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I swear more content is coming.
Oh, he's a know-it-all on Indie Vote. So we just
I'm a
we just
know-it-all.
we just we
Well,
just
yeah,
get
and
the
that-
soapbox to stand on. And
That's what
I got my soapbox right here.
yeah.
The great stage of indie comics, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for joining us, Randy. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody. We'll see you later. Have a great show and stay safe and happy.
Have a good night, sir.
Yep, we'll see you.
What's up, man?
Donald Grimm's having some internet connection issues over there, but he keep popping in and out, so he's there.
Yeah. When you have those issues, but we just roll with all the punches. We do the best we can to bring you some excellent content tonight. Another shout out and thank you to all of our Indie listeners. We're really happy that you're here and that you're willing to listen to us rant and rave and explain things. But they are kind of neat to see, especially on a show like this one where we're actually drawing. We got these wonderful, talented artists, these 3 who are putting their Mount Rushmore of nerddom up. And you really need to see that. And you can see that on the YouTube channel. So head over to Indie Volt on YouTube, INDIEVOLT, and smash that like button and subscribe. And also remember to check us out on your Roku. We have a channel on Roku that you can download, install it on your device. Coming soon to the Amazon Fire Stick as well. And you can watch programs like this one and lots of independent films, some of which are terrible, some of which are not. And you can enjoy that content as well. Varian, do we have an update on our numbers for listening tonight?
We do 29,147.
Wow.
I just checked about 5 minutes ago. So yeah, we actually did go past 40,000 listeners the other day.
We did? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry and congratulations in the same sentence.
Yeah. It was,
I'm saying I'm sorry because that means Varian has to shell out more money. So it's important for you to go to YouTube, smash that like button, help get us to be profitable on YouTube.
mhm.
That'll help out. That's a great way to support the channel. And don't stop listening when we start having advertisers because we do need to start bringing in some kind of a revenue here. We love bringing you this content and we don't want it to stop for any reason.
Yeah, it's tomorrow we'll be celebrating it. It's Indie Volt's 3rd birthday tomorrow, and it's been 3 years, and it's shocking because I'm like, has it really been that long? But it has been, and we are growing. Pretty well considering.
Yeah,
you know?
growing by leaps and bounds. We keep adding more and more listeners, it seems, all across the globe. We've got Scott Roseman checking in. Now, this is a fellow who should be here drawing tonight with us, don't you think?
I do. He says, listening. Who's listening? And, yeah. Scott Roseman should be in there drawing. But the thing is,
Now, see, this is a topic tonight: the Mount Rushmore of nerddom. Scott Rosema, who is your top 4, your Mount Rushmore that got you into drawing comics and geek culture and all that? Because that's what we're drawing tonight, and we've got 3 talented artists, and we'd love to have you on a Friday night if you'll accept the challenge.
Yeah, that would be great. Having Scott Roseman on would be fantastic. I think we need to berate him and do whatever we need to do to get him on. We'll tease him. We'll throw shade, as the youngins say. Michael Olton says that I'm chuckling about the horrible movie I sent to you guys too. Yeah.
Hey, did you finally get delivery of After the Blood Rush, the independent film that I was the special effects artist and editor on?
It was supposed to be here today, but it got pushed back.
We're gonna have to have a viewing party once you get that in.
Yeah, it will be here Monday. After the Scott says drawing on IndieVolt. Are you crazy? I want to allow that, Scott. Gobby is back. He's frozen again, but
he's making a lot of progress on his Mount Rushmore there. That's looking really good. Let's do we have a screen from Red Robot? Can we get an update on what he's
Yeah, I'm here.
yeah.
All right, we got Captain Kirk coming in and Spider-Man, Snake Eyes, and Optimus Prime. That's a really good lineup. You and I got a lot in common if that's your lineup.
One of my very first memories is when I was like 3 or 4 years old, was my dad taking me and my brothers to a comic shop in Oklahoma. And I saw a Spider-Man cover. And so he's always stuck with me.
Do you remember exactly what issue it was that brought you?
It had to be like from 83 or 84. I remember it was just a yellow cover, Spider-Man on the cover.
Yeah, because some of my earliest comic book memories is when my dad gave me a big long box that he had under their bed. It was just a whole bunch of comics. None of the really high dollar ones. He gave those away to a kid in Germany when he was stationed there in the army. But the ones that he kept, he gave to me, and I just started absorbing it. And I automatically gravitated to Iron Man. Now, I was a fat kid, and I got picked on a lot. And the idea of hiding inside of an impenetrable suit of armor and blasting people with repulsor rays was quite appealing at the time. And that got me into Bob Layton's art and just studying the way that he drew forms and reflections. And, through Bob Layton, I got into Barry Windsor Smith really heavily. That got me into Conan and Red Sonja, into those territories as well. So lots of little peaks and little valleys that kind of go off, and you kind of get influenced by one thing or another. I'll tell you, I was so thrilled when the Iron Man movie first came out. It was, I think I teared up because it was something that I'd been wanting to see for so long and never understood why Iron Man didn't get love, because for a while, he was like a B or a C lister.
Yeah, he was on the bottom.
Dude, I had friends that would tease me because I collected Iron Man. I'm like, leave me alone. He's class 100, dude.
Yeah, now he's the franchise of the movies, basically.
Yeah.
It was really good to see that character get its comeuppance because it's a very, very dynamic character. You have this guy who struggles with his own involvement in selling weapons and whatnot and wanting to kind of reverse course and pay for the sins of his father, but he also deals with alcoholism and all these other really sordid issues. And it was really a mature book for its time, and especially when Layton came in and started helping with some of the writing, in fact, and really fleshing out this character of Tony Stark. You got into some really heavy stuff, and it was really poignant to read.
Yeah, I always thought that he was a very, and I mean, in the future, sure, but very reasonable character to have happen. Like, he's actually plausible. We have Savage today. That Avon Savage has made an Iron Man suit.
Mm-hmm.
And so throughout as growing up as a kid, I'm like, he's a believable character. Like we're gonna see him happen, and we are, and it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, at the rate technology's going, we're almost going to skip the man in the suit and just have the autonomous suit here
Yeah.
walking around. We'll skip Iron Man and go straight to Cylons, it seems like sometimes.
The EV-209s patrolling the streets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'd be another cool Mount Rushmore to have, like, your Mount Rushmore of cyborgs or Mount Rushmore of robots.
I
I would
see.
definitely put a Cylon on mine because just the aesthetic of their helmet alone just is enthralling to me. And then the voice, that by your command, and the flashing red going across the woo woo. I latched onto that stuff as a kid.
Dude, me as well. They had the best ship.
Oh yeah,
The battle. I like their ships.
The base stars.
yeah. Like all the design work in that show was really good. They were really Glenn Larson really pushing the envelope of what you could do on television,
Mhm.
and it really made some landmark stuff. All of his shows, I could have lunch boxes of all of them. I loved all of those shows. Knight Rider, Airwolf, gosh,
Street Hawk.
Street
I've
Hawk.
seen, you guys would have liked it. I've seen a really cool meme today, and it said it was about the with everything going on in 2020, and it said the Japanese have Gundams. What? This is horrible. We could get things to get really bad, and who could defeat them with Gundams? And it said the Europeans said release the Kraken. And I thought it was awesome.
I tell you what, if they actually make a functioning working Gundam, I know they're coming close. I've seen some autonomous walking tanks and stuff that they've got prototyped, and I love Japan. I can't wait to visit there. I know we have a regular listener in Japan. We need to get him in here to draw too.
Yeah. Eric, I'll be right back.
All
I
right.
gotta step outside real quick. Kids are popping fireworks inside of my home, and I smell fire.
I know it's Art of War, but it sounds like little gunshots actually coming through your microphone.
Oh yeah, I want to check what's going on.
All right, sounds good. Back where I grew up, we would just have literal gunshots. It was cheaper than fireworks. You just go shoot your shotgun or your rifle up in the air, which is very dangerous because those bullets do have to come back down. So, but that's what it's like growing up as a country bumpkin in the middle of nowhere in Missouri. All right, so with Varian gone, we can't keep cycling the cameras. So for those of you watching, I apologize for him walking away right now, but stay with us because we've got some really good art coming through here. We've got Spy Tattoo, he's got Iron Man, Judge Dredd, the Princess from Thundar, the Barbarian going. Really nice scene too, starting to work on some tones, getting some marker in there as well, got trees and stuff. Literally going for a Mount Rushmore, which is really, really cool. And then we got Goblin Grim with his there with Freddy Krueger, Elvira. We got Stan the Man Lee in the big shot there. And then for some reason, maybe it's because of my elderly brain, I'm forgetting the one in the middle. I know it's a famous writer that wrote, it's Stephen King. There we go. I'm very tired tonight because I had to assemble some furniture for a kitchen that we're working on. And it was kind of a pain in the butt. But happy to be here tonight. Happy to be on mic. I did get to win finally. I won last week and still haven't gotten my gift card, which makes this seem kind of shady.
Get up with the boss.
Now, Spy, tell us a little bit about you've mentioned Iron Man. You've mentioned your influence with Thundar. Tell us about your experience with Judge Dredd. Why is Judge Dredd on your mountain?
My mom taught my dad how to read with Judge Dredd comic books, and then pretty much me at the same time. So that that's just a fond memory.
Okay. Back it up because that is an amazing story. There, you need to back up.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I think he used some sight words, but he was, he grew up in Saginaw, and it wasn't the best situation. So
okay.
Yeah, that's the story. And yeah, so he would put his Judge Dredd comic books in like a fold-up binder that pictures were supposed to go into. You know, with the sticky tag. It was crazy, and we'd pull them out and read those, and they're, you know, you've read Judge Dredd. They're a little raw, so it definitely set the tone. I love it.
Wow, that's actually, you know, that is an incredible story. Red Robot trying to get us canceled here.
Now, I'm switching over to Photoshop because I keep losing my connection from my iPad to the thing.
Not a problem, sir. Not a problem. We are TVMA, DSLV, whatever those last 4 letters stand for, so it's not a problem. But you're looking good there, man. We got Captain Kirk, Spider-Man, Snake Eyes. That's version 2 Snake Eyes, it looks like. He had more goggles, if I remember right, from the miniseries. And then, of course, Optimus Prime.
I mean, if we're talking, you know, I mean, G.I. Joe is amazing. Like, those stories still hold up today, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Real American Hero just sticks with me. You can't put it down. Like, the way I grew up, I was a fat kid, but I came from a military dad. You know, he was in the Army. His dad was in the Air Force for Korea. So I was like, I get the honor of being the first generation who was unfit for duty, basically. But, you know, with G.I. Joe, I definitely was ready to go. And then you bring in a movie like Top Gun, and yeah, I wished I could have joined the Air Force so bad.
You're right, yeah.
Especially, you know, I think I would have wanted to do Air Force, but eventually get into the Army because they have the Warthog, the A-10, my all-time favorite plane. I would just be thrilled to be a pilot of one of those tank busters.
We have an air show every year at Father's Day, and they're usually there, and it's awesome. We have a camp near us, and we hear them all the time. They're definitely distinct.
Oh yeah.
They got that whine. It's like,
yep. They fly in super low. They're made to go super low because they got that big Gatling gun and just take out of course, the signature sound of that gun too, the burt, you know.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep. They built that whole plane around that weapon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched a really good. There's a YouTube channel I follow that they do like breakdowns and like mini documentaries of the different planes. And next to the SR-71, which is a miracle of technology, that thing even gets off the ground. The A-10 Warthog is just one of my favorite stories. All right, so what about you, Red Robot? Well, do you have any interesting stories that are tied to? I know you told us about Spider-Man, but what's another interesting story from your mountain?
Well, like when I was little, my parents lived in Oklahoma, and I remember watching Star Trek, the original series, right after I got home from kindergarten. It was on the afternoons. There was Star Trek, and there's sort of Dukes of Hazzard. We would watch this back to back. And I actually remember when Star Trek Next Generation first premiered. It was like in '87, and me and my family sat down and we watched it, the first episode all together. And what's cool is that Star Trek lasted me all the way up to college, from the Next Generation to Deep Space Nine to Voyager to Enterprise. Basically, my entire education from kindergarten to graduation in college, there was always a Star Trek on air that I watched every week. And I'm not really a fan of the current iteration of it because I think they've strayed too far away.
I would agree. I don't think the Picard series did what they needed to with it. And
no, because I thought I put Picard on my thing here because he was a big inspiration to me, but the way Patrick Stewart has behaved over the past couple of years is, to me, he has shown that he had a lot of bitterness toward Gene Roddenberry. That he was never invited to come into the writer's room to input stories and how he'd like to have Picard to go. And now that Roddenberry's gone and he was actually an executive producer on the show, he wrote the Picard that he wanted to write.
No, I see.
The heroic Picard, the smart Picard that the writers created for him. So the Picard in the new show is basically who I think Patrick Stewart really is, and not who John Picard is as a character.
I see. Yeah, that's what you know. You make a good point there. Definitely. I know I was kind of disappointed in the other show in the middle there with because I know they introduced Captain Pike, and I really, ever since the original not miniseries, but the original like TV movie debut of Star Trek with Captain Pike getting captured by those aliens, I've always wanted to know more about Pike, you know, Enterprise pre-Kirk, and kind of get into that. So, you know, maybe this next season where they focused, are they doing a new show entirely around Pike, or is it like?
Well, from what I've heard, and like I watched a lot of stuff by Midnight's Edge and Doomcock, they're just trying to drum up the financial support for those shows. I mean, they can announce all the shows they want, but if no one's paying for them, they're not going to get made.
Yeah, I can't really think other than Star Trek why I would pay for a CBS subscription service. I think that's pretty much all they got. I mean, I know they have other shows, but they're just so CBS. It doesn't really thrill me. maybe that's me, because there's plenty of good TV sci-fi. I mean, it can be done. The Expanse, oh my gosh, that's like that was exciting for me as an adult as Star Trek was for me as a kid.
Sorry about that, guys. I said I got to go right back out there because one of my neighbors has Roman candles, and rather than let them stay on the ground as instructed, he is holding them in his hand, spinning around.
Oh my gosh, what a moron!
Yeah, shooting them over people's houses. Yeah.
For those of you at home who don't know what a Roman candle is, it's basically a cardboard tube with various amounts of gunpowder in it that are colored, and it shoots out these flaming balls of colored gas, and it's very dangerous. And that's the one thing you don't do is hold it in your hand.
Yeah, he's holding his hand, spinning around like a child, shooting them. And the reason why I smelled it is because one shot behind the house, and it like the smell of it filled up the whole house because it's right by the air condition. So it just, the central air unit, so the smell just came throughout the entire house. So my other neighbor's down there talking to him right now. I'm gonna go see what happens. I should be back in like 5 minutes. I'll get that straw pole up then too. I see Gob was here, then he dropped out when I got back. So we'll see if he gets back in here. He says he's been having some difficulty with his computer. We'll see how that works out for him.
Scott Roseman says, "Hey, can I join?" Absolutely.
Sure. Scott, I will send you a link right now in Facebook. Hold on 1 second.
So Varian is engaged in actual warfare, doing Art of War. There's gunpowder going off, smoke, bombs bursting in air, and now he's reached the trade talks. He needs to go and talk these wild animals down out there that are assaulting him with gunfire.
All right, Scott, you have the link in your chat, sir.
All right, Goblin's back. Looks like
wild animals down. Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott, thank you for joining us tonight on the Art of War. How are you doing?
Good. The Art of War. I trust Varian is going to be.
I'm hearing some
wearing body armor.
Yeah, he needs some body armor.
Good. Hang on a second. Let me.
Please move your speakers.
I trust Varian is going to be.
One, three.
Yeah, he needs some body armor.
Good.
You have YouTube still playing or something.
There I am. Now I'm on time.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. So tell me, who is your Mount Rushmore of nerddom? What four would you put on a mountain that got you into this business?
I saw you guys doing that, and I thought, how timely can we be? Because obviously Mount Rushmore is at the forethought of a lot of people tonight.
Yep. We got some controversy needlessly stirred up, but
oh my God, I can't believe it.
There's a lot of people who have never heard of Mount Rushmore who are actually finally hearing about it, at least.
Wow. Well, all of the controversy around it notwithstanding, it's a pretty doggone impressive place. And the engineering that went into making it is just amazing. But I want a quick double check in on what we got going here. One guy looks like Goblin Grim. It looks like you got what looks like Stan Lee, is it?
Yep, we got Stan Lee, Stephen King, Elvira, and Freddy Krueger.
Oh, Freddy Krueger, really? Wow, that's quite a Mount Rushmore. And Spy Tattoos has got Iron Man.
Hi.
Judge Dredd.
Oh, Judge Dredd.
The princess from Thundar the Barbarian.
Oh, that's oh God, what's her name?
I forgot to. That's why I said the princess from Thundar the Barbarian.
Okay. And Little Red Devil. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Hot stuff.
Hot stuff. That's awesome.
Yep, we had the incredible Randy Zim come in and inform us about Harvey Comics and give us a little bit of background into Harvey Comics. And
well, I want you to know that Randy signing off is probably one of the main reasons I signed on, because I can't imagine that you guys would want to have two know-it-alls in your presence.
Well, there's a time bear paradox that opens up when two bald-headed graybeards come on.
I love it.
Like crossing the streams.
Crossing the streams. That's
great. But you've been dodging my question. I want to know who's on your Mount Rushmore of nerddom.
No, I'm not dodging. I am melodramatically setting it up for a hell of an answer.
All right, that's a great segue. Don't ruin it and leave it on the floor.
Exactly. Now I want to see Red Robots thing. What you got? Which one? What's your Mount Rushmore?
Hold on. Do I have the? Let me. I may turn my screen off.
Has he shown it?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna try switching out screens. So
now, as he does that, let me get a reforming of the question. My Mount Rushmore of what are the
your Mount Rushmore of nerddom? What brought you into the business of comics, nerd culture, pop culture?
Oh, okay, that's a hell of a good question. And it would be fun to draw if I could set up my camera to actually show my board as I'm drawing. But anyway,
can you switch me over to the second screen?
I would love to, except for Varian Grant did not give me the controls tonight, and he has stepped away to fight a battle with his neighbors.
God, I wish that was on camera. Okay.
I think buckets of water are going to be involved in putting out Roman candles.
Well, while Red Robot's searching that, I can tell you the 4 main influences for me getting into comics. First one would have to be Popeye. And that's mainly because that's the very first comic I got. It was something my mom brought back from the hospital when she was working as a nurse. And I saw it, and I thought, I can draw 4 arms better than that. They're way too puffy and big. That's not right. So that was, I have to credit that to being one of my very first influences. Now, as I grew up and started both watching TV as I got a little bit older and could control the TV channels, I was influenced by the George Reeves Superman show.
Okay.
And so I guess I would have to make that my second face on the mountain. Now, in terms of artistic influences, it has to be John Buscema, one of the classic Marvel comic artists.
Yep.
And Neil Adams, obviously another great thing, who luckily we still have Neil. He's around and he's doing phenomenal. So if I had to pare it down to just 4, it would have to be those 4.
All right. So, those are good picks.
It's Popeye, George Reeves Superman, the artist John Buscema, and Neil Adams. I would say that's pretty good.
Neil Adams spent like 5 minutes yelling at me at a convention one year.
What's that?
Neil Adams spent 5 minutes yelling at me at a convention here in Austin like a couple of years ago.
What did you do?
So I made a comment about how he said that he traced some of his images, and I said that when I was in school, my art teacher told us not to trace. Oh man, he just went off. I was like, go to school. So I went to Sketch, and I don't even know what that school is. Back in my day, all of us always had to trace to get our stuff done. There's nothing wrong with tracing. It just went off, and all of us like, okay.
Oh yeah, Neil's very, very passionate about how effective tracing can be to learn, and even though you weren't saying tracing was something that you don't
No.
like doing.
Yeah, it
He was expecting that attitude to come forth, and he had to get defensive right away.
Oh yeah. And he's right though. I mean, there's unfortunately a very, very strong stigma attached to tracing, as if people think tracing is cheating, and it's not. It's a learning tool. It's certainly something that I think every art teacher should encourage in early students in order to get them to understand proportion and volume and and shading and all kinds of things that eventually you get away from, or even if you don't want to get away from it, if you can create your own sources, you can keep tracing all you want. But the whole point is to create a good, solid, finished piece. And if part of that involves tracing from your sources, so be it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think there are too many
Coming from the world of production deadlines, I mean, you get it done. You just have to get it done. It was eye-opening for me because I watched the Drew Struzan documentary, and he shows his process of projecting photographs up on and getting the rough traced in there, and then he goes to town. He says, "Look, I know I can do this if I didn't have to, but I have X amount of days to get this done." And I think in the case of the poster of The Thing, he had to do that overnight. It was still wet when they were photographing it.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it was still wet when they were photographing it, and some of it got smudged. And it's a permanent part of the poster is that it was actually smudged.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. I mean, if you're gonna get into a commercial art or do art professional for a living, sometimes there's no room for these supposed rules about how to do the work. So
when I
If
was
you research it, and some of the old masters even did it when they were using mirrors to project the Eiffel Tower or whatever.
Oh, sure, all these guys that did these incredible likenesses of dignitaries and royalty and all that back then, they didn't all know how to draw exactly by eye, just looking at it. They used all kinds of methods, grid tracing, and
I think it's called camera obscura or something like that. Where it was using mirrors to reflect the image.
Yeah, and the thing is, once you have a solid line drawing that gives you your foundation, then your skills at rendering and light, volume, and color, all that comes into play, and you've got to be really good to make that work. But to think that you've got to start with a complete blank canvas and nothing else to go on is it's insane. It's insane. Not everybody has that. Not everybody's idiot savant, as they say.
All right, looks like Dragon's back at the board.
Oh, here we go. That's
Red Robot.
No, that's
the other one, you old dude.
Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime. There you go.
Hey, who you calling old? God damn it!
Back in my day, my robots were wind-up toys. They were on the screen transforming into trucks.
I'll take an old switch to you.
All right, can you guess number 2?
Oh, that's oh shit! I just had the name in my head. That's the G.I. Joe ninja that never talks.
You're close. You're right there. You're right there.
Don't tell me. Don't say anything. Don't jinx it.
I can see it in your eyes.
That is not Cobra. That isn't That isn't Visor Man.
You're sticking your way to the right answer.
That isn't Jet Man. That isn't oh my God. All right, don't tell me, and I'll go back to it. We know that's Spider-Man, and that's Reed Richards.
No,
it's not Reed Richards.
Well, yeah, that's not Reed Richards.
Look above his head.
Oh, that's Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
There you go.
The collar threw me off. You don't have the Federation insignia on it. That's
there.
Quick add it in so I look like
he showed you all right.
I look like a
all right. So back to number 2. You were snaking your way in there. I can see it in your eyes.
Oh, nice. Give it away. Give it away. Oh, no, I know who it is now. It's Rattlesnake. No, wait. It's Venom. No. It's Pointy Teeth. No, it's Snake Eyes. Thank
There
you
we
for
go.
ruining my. Now,
Very good.
now my memory is really strained.
I
Just go
always,
hit your head again. You'll feel better.
yeah. Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow. I told you guys my story about thinking Starscream was a female.
Yeah, we don't need to hear that story again.
And
Well, some of us don't. Maybe some of us do. I mean, maybe we need to be comforted because
Varian was very desperate for robot boobs in his day, and RC hadn't come along yet. So
Well,
Yeah.
first of all, Varian,
You
I
had
want,
Transfer
I
Z.
want an update from the war out front.
yeah,
You didn't watch Transfer Z?
Did they put away the Roman candle?
Yeah, they put it away. They just got stink bombs now and sparklers.
Well,
you're
that's
saying
like
it's an
me on
improvement.
lasagna night.
Yeah, it's like it still smells outside now, but which is fine. You know, I'm used to the smoke smell. 4th of July, but it was just in my
And we
house.
won't get into why you're used to that kind of smell. We'll leave that to the listener's
I
imagination.
am shocked, you know, guys, and I say this, you know, anybody who like knows me personally knows that I'm lame. Like I don't do any drug. I don't smoke weed or anything. I should, but I don't. And the thing
If
is,
anybody deserves to ruin their life with drugs, and yeah, you do.
I mean, you've pumped yourself full of sugar and caffeine your whole life. You have hydrogenitis now, so
yeah, might as well just like just go ahead and get.
Nothing wrong with sugar.
But the problem is now, like, when I go places now, people like smoking weed like totally in public, totally okay with it.
oh yeah,
And
you could tell when they legalized it here in Michigan. It was just like suddenly a cloud appeared over the sky.
Yeah. And we were, I was shocked because man, I had like I was sitting, I went outside of Target the other day and I sat down, and the guy next to me was just, you know, lit up a joint and was just smoking it, and I'm like, wow, this dude is seriously waiting on his ride while puffing a joint. It was great. I mean, he was really down to earth, and he was telling me the COVID was that which one I said that which will not be named is a
At what point did he beg you to go back inside and buy him cookies?
He didn't. He had a bag. He had a couple Target bags, and he was he told me the whole pandemic situation is a front. They want us to don't take the vaccines. What he said to me as he's walking away.
Oh, well, sure. I'm sure he has all the answers. That's why he's smoking weed.
Yeah. What
You
you
can't
know?
make
Yeah, truth is stranger than fiction, and I'm more with the way the media is anymore. I'm more likely to believe a homeless guy on the street is more credible than anything coming out of CNN or some of the other news outlets anymore. At least the homeless guy on the street, his agenda is maybe to get a 40 later. I can accept that. I can help fund that. I want that for him. You know, he doesn't want to put me in prison for my thought crimes.
Yeah, and why not? Really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I might as well vote for the guy on the corner, to be president. 'Cause it's only going to go up from here.
Well, assuming you can learn his name and be able to spell it, when he
Right,
said,
right.
My name is Louis Fernakatusha.
Let's go for it.
That's with a capital F-T. Hey, I really like. I'm really digging these arts we're doing here with our three guys here. These is awesome.
Yeah, Spy 2 and 2 is well into color. Hot Stuff is looking great. Princess Ariel, her
Princess Ariel. That's the name.
Her accommodations are looking great there, and we got.
Did you realize you just spoke her name?
Yes,
Princess Ariel.
I cheated. I read it off of Glenn Ford here in the chat on the side. And he corrected us.
Cheating bastard. You cheating bastard.
He says Neil Adams is such a nice guy in person too, and he is. I offered him a donut one time and he refused it, but he refused it very politely.
Well, I'd be nice in person too if you offered me a donut.
Well,
Which you never have,
if
by the way.
there's ever another convention, maybe I'll come and give you a donut.
Ship them. Go to your Dunkin' Donuts and mail me a dozen. Just
I'm not going to go out of my way to do something nice for you that you can do for yourself.
sure, fine. After everything I've done for you, which is
Less than
I guess I've
nothing.
never done anything for you. So
Speaking of which, I don't know if you guys, if you check my Twitter, there was some action in Grand Rapids this afternoon.
Got some breaking news?
Some breaking news. I'll share it. There was a lady in Grand Rapids. She was obviously quite disturbed, and she well, I guess I'll just show you guys. She was there we go. All right, there we go.
we don't need to see any more $1 bills stuffed into a G-string there.
Well, as you can see, she is hanging outside of a window.
Oh wow! What is this?
She tries to climb over. This is in Grand Rapids. This is home of Goblin Grim, and she's trying to climb over to the next window, and she gets pretty far. And I'll tell you guys this: she does trip.
Oh my God!
This is incredible.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
trying to get away from Goblin. Is that the case? What's going on?
Yeah, there's a whole video. It's on my Facebook page. Yeah, it's.
Does she make it over to that window she's going for?
She does make it over there, and then they give her a ladder, and she climbs to the top rung of the ladder and hangs on that little white ledge, that little white design.
Good Lord!
She's just hanging and like kind of and screaming. They kept moving the trash cans and the boxes just in case she took a dive.
Good Lord!
This is why you don't do PCP before you get in the shower, kids.
I tell you, there are so many endless stories of my ex-girlfriends in that city. I'm just so ashamed. I never mean to drive them to that, but apparently. So what was the story? What did it end up being? Was she high? Was she?
I guess she was high. Maybe she just. I don't know. We didn't. The guy who was doing the taping would only tell us that he had just went to Popeyes to get a spicy chicken sandwich, and he went to go get his hair cut, and that's when he noticed the scene. This woman trying to.
This woman was she previously in front of Target?
No.
Apparently, that's where you get the stuff around there. I don't know.
No, she was Goblin. You know what that's it? I don't think you can hear us.
He's ignoring you.
Yeah, but it's in Grand Rapids. It's on. I forget the street name, but the guy who posted it was like, "Yeah, this is happening, guys," and
Good Lord.
yeah, it was. I mean, and you can see her there, and there's a point where she gets on the top rung of that ladder. There, you can see that, and
So she just climbs off. She climbs even further once they give her a ladder.
right.
You're going the wrong way.
Now, there's got to be a better way to get sun in that city.
He's raging against the
She's naked.
Yeah, and she had like a cape on at first. I thought she was like a superhero. There's a flip flop on her arm.
First on a ribbon, I thought it looked like a robe at first.
She
Yeah.
might have been watching Spider-Man thinking, I can do it too.
Ladies and gentlemen that are listening live on Indie Volt Radio, this is the kind of quality content you can expect when you actually look at YouTube and check out and see how the wonderful artists are drawing. You get to see people who are high on meth.
You get
You're
to see
both hanging out the window
desperate
naked.
naked people climbing on buildings.
She was climbing. She did make it. I do know she was safe. She did not jump.
Good
Well, that's
Lord.
good.
Yeah, I can tell you
Yeah.
that.
Maybe she was auditioning for the Spider-Gwen movie.
It is very possible. It is very possible.
Grand Rapids Wall Crawler. That's,
Yeah.
We named her here.
Well, she obviously forgot her costume for the audition, so she's not.
Maybe the
probably not going to get the part.
Maybe her clothes were in another room and she forgot about doors and hallways.
That could happen. That's if I could count the times that happened to me, I'd be man. So
Varian, how are we doing on time tonight? I'm looking at the clock, and we're at about an hour and a half, so we're going to need to
Yeah, we're
cut
about
this broadcast down
these
here
guys-
shortly.
yeah, they're about 10 minutes from being finished. I was just gonna say that. About 10 minutes from pencils down, and then I'll give everybody 5 minutes to vote, and we'll be done. So we have another 15 minutes up here in the show.
Oh, wait a
Sounds
second. Has this been like a contest?
It has.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a contest. What's the prize? What's the money?
Tonight, remember, I'm supposed to be hosting, young
Right,
man.
right, right. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Tonight, our artists are drawing to win a $25 Hobby Lobby gift card.
Hey, I didn't
Lobby.
know there was real gifts involved. Oh my God.
Is that we are unique among drawing stream shows in which we actually award something of value in the end.
Well, nobody told me.
You're learning firsthand right now.
Oh,
This should get you over the hump to
Lord,
get some equipment so that you can actually show us what you're doing.
there's no getting me over my hump. It's way too big.
You're the camel of comics.
You guys up in Michigan? Did you guys ever go to the
Hold on.
Motor City Comic Con?
Oh yeah, Motor City Comic Con is a great show. When it existed, I'm a 15, going on 16-year veteran, I think, of that show. I've kind of lost track of how many shows I've been there. I know Scott Roseman's been at that show since the
Oh
beginning of
God,
time.
since almost day one.
He was waiting in the parking lot when they set up the very first show.
I helped build that show. Damn it.
Yeah, I used to go to that like every summer. We'll drive up from Fort Wayne up to Novi.
Oh, nice.
yeah. Well, Motor City for decades was the show to go to in Michigan and in the Midwest, other than Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The show to go
and
to.
it still is, because I can remember not too long ago when we had Stan Lee, we had record attendance like 60, 70,000 people.
Oh God, easily.
They've had to invent new ways of getting into the con, like busing lots and all this.
Oh
other
yeah.
stuff.
And that was and now the thing is it was amazing how it grew from one particular year to the next, because for a long time it was being held in Dearborn at a community center, which was really way back. And one year they went from that community center to the big facility in Novi. It's like it jumped in attendance by about 20%, by 20 times.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I started going when I first moved up here, and they were doing the 2 shows a year. They're doing the small fall show and then the summer show, and I really enjoyed doing that while I was in college. And that was the first show that I ever set up at.
Really? What were you selling comics at the time, or?
Yeah, I was publishing my old Melby comic, and it was a black and white anthology. Satire humor.
That's right. That's right.
Yep, that was me back in the day.
Very cool.
I think that one year I went and James Doohan, before he died, Scotty,
Oh,
he
nice.
rode up behind me on his little scooter. He was like, "Excuse me."
Oh my God, that's cool.
Guys, I'm gonna show the art again. So we got Spy Tattoos here. He's got his Mount Rushmore Spy Tattoos on Instagram. He's got Iron Man, Judge Dredd, Princess Ariel, and
Hot stuff from
Hot stuff.
Harvey Comics.
That's pretty good. I like the coloring you got going there. That's really good.
Eric, what do you think when you see that mix of characters? What is it?
I mean, this is a microcosm of the inspiration for Spy Tattoos, and I think it's wonderful. It's a diverse landscape. He's got a great story about Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd, his mom taught him and his dad how to read with Judge Dredd comics.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, the Child Quest.
That is pretty cool.
I grew up on the Child Quest. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
All these types
Do you
of
think Johnny Quest?
Oh, I've watched Johnny. I love Johnny Quest, but Judge Dredd.
Oh, gotcha.
There's a series called The Child Quest, and it was a really good series. I just remember that one popping out of the mix with that Judge Dredd series.
It's awesome.
It's called The Child Quest. It's this famous child that got lost in the wilds of the world of Judge Dredd. Because it was a post-apocalyptic world.
Well, I'll have to check that out. I've never heard of that, and it sounds fascinating.
Let's go down to Goblin Grim, check his out. Gabby, what do we got here? Could you?
Ooh.
Stanley,
Stanley, Stephen King.
and Freddy Krueger.
And a wonderful ink wash. What made you decide to do ink wash tonight?
Save some time with markers and stuff, and just
Oh man, his sound is really bad.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Mary,
we got some tech support stuff to do.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, we're gonna have to make a trip with the goblins, and we'll check out people climbing from their windows as well as that's not by there.
Wild of GR.
Yeah. Let's take a look at Red Robot.
got a close up here of Optimus Prime underway.
Could you zoom out a little bit? Let's take a look at that. Thank you.
There we are, Optimus Prime, Snake Eyes, Spider-Man, and Captain James T. Kirk.
Who we notice Kirk is not obeying the mask order these days. The other three are, but that's Kirk for you.
Yes, my first name is actually James, and I tried to convince my wife that if we had a son, I wanted to name James Tiberius Hodson, and she didn't go for it for some reason.
Really? I can't imagine why not.
I don't know. I think James T. Hodson sounds pretty good when it rolls off the tongue. But no Shatner. She just kept yelling "No Shatner" off the top of her head.
Nobody thinks James Tiberius is good for anybody except for Kirk. You should know that. Yeah.
All right. Do we have the poll in the comment section?
It is there now.
All right, so we have the straw poll up. Please, if you're listening and watching on IndieVolt on Facebook, on YouTube, or on the Twitch channel, go ahead and check out that link and start voting for these wonderful artists. We have 3 talented individuals, Goblin Grim with Snake Eyes, Spider-Man, James T. Kirk. No, I'm sorry, that's Red Robots. This is what happens when you go on autopilot. There's Gobbies. Elvira looking very fetching. Freddy Krueger, not fetching, but you wouldn't want to see a fetching Freddy Krueger.
Notice Jim's overuse of the word fetching.
Well, I just learned it. It was on my Word of Day calendar, and I haven't used it today.
Okay. Understandable. I did the same thing when I learned about the word tremendous.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, and tremendous author Stephen King right next to Elvira.
Hey, you can't steal my favorite word.
And Stan the Man Lee topping it out. We got some trees in the background. A lovely ink wash drawing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's Goblin Grim. You can vote for that one if you like.
I want to call Party Foul.
Party Foul.
Party Foul. That is not Stephen King. That is Eric.
No. The hair is all wrong.
I think
I'll say this, that's a very young Stephen King, that's to be sure.
I think that Gabi is trying to get votes, and yeah. So next, we're going to show.
There's Red Robot with James T. Kirk and the Enterprise hovering above Spider-Man, Snake Eyes, and the immortal Optimus Prime. Definitely one of my ones I would put on my Mount Rushmore. Definitely Optimus Prime. Very much a father figure for a little kid watching cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
We know that Kirk is obviously sitting there thinking to himself, "I've been beamed into a mountain, Scotty. You got to help me." Spa.
All right, and Spy Tattoo with Iron Man, Judge Dredd, Princess Ariel from Thunder the Barbarian, and Hot Stuff from Harvey Comics. Looking really good. Got some great shading there with the Prismacolor markers. Full mountain scene and sky with some trees. This is definitely someone who did his due diligence with Mount Rushmore. Awesome work. Thank you very much for coming out tonight with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That's awesome. I appreciate it.
All right, let's.
Where's the straw poll? I can't see it on the screen.
Well, I put the link in the chat. You can click on the link there. I can also send you the link if you want.
Well, do I get to vote or no?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Goody.
I've sent you the link in your messenger. You can click on the link. You can go there and you can vote. I see. Are we gonna call pencils down in like a minute there?
Yeah, you can do. Just do official time keep. Well, yeah, we've been going for an hour and 38 minutes, so yeah, we can round it up for a couple more minutes and call it quits. Got Red Robot coming in with some highlights, making some things pop. Looking good, looking good. I'll tell you one thing about coming on stream and drawing is it really gives you an opportunity to get the speed going. everybody draws at their own pace, but at some point you really want to work on those skills and try to get something down as quickly as possible. And everybody has done a great job tonight. These are really good looking images. Really easy to tell who's who, and the characters all look like they're on model. And it's really interesting to see who everybody picked. It's a really good broad brush of fandom. I love that Goblin has Stephen King, an author, in there. The horror star of Freddy Krueger. I mean, that's totally fresh. Coming into the show, you might think all comic book characters, and really great to see Goblin taking a different spin on there with Elvira, Stephen King, Stan the Man Lee, and Freddy Krueger. I think for myself, I never really cared for Krueger as much as I liked Jason Voorhees. So if I was going to do a horror one, I would definitely have Jason Voorhees on there.
I just watched one of the Halloween movies. Oh no, Friday the 13th movies. It was
Friday the 13th.
Part 5. Yeah, Friday the 13th, Part 5.
You kind of get into the weeds in there with some of those in the middle. I remember 8 being Jason Takes Manhattan, and that one's particularly hilarious to watch.
I want to give an updated number. Right now, we at 32,914 listening.
Awesome.
That is really cool. We want to
hope everybody's enjoying themselves.
Who is our top country that's listening tonight?
Top country right now is Japan.
Dang, I love Japan.
Oh, is that the most listeners we have coming out of Japan?
For right now, yes. They're the top country listening right now. Listening at this moment. But I do want to say that we have this is actually the most highest watched Art of War. Listened to Art of War section. Yeah, so that's
excellent.
Get it.
That's great. Thank you everyone for coming tonight. And everybody in Japan, sorry nobody drew Godzilla or a Gundam. I mean
I could have drawn Godzilla. Jeez, why didn't I think of that? There's too many.
That's all right. You choose your subject. There's no apology necessary.
No,
unless of course you haven't paid me the money you owe me. But we won't talk about that.
Rosema's flexing his mobster credentials.
Be careful, I'll send a naked woman climbing out your window.
Scott, did you get the link?
Yes, I did, and I voted.
All right.
Hey, we have Jason McCormick checking in on the chat.
Speaking of Japan.
Yeah,
that's
your cue. There you go. Hooray! Very happy to hear the Land of the Rising Sun is top dog.
Well, Jason, if anybody's to be credited, it's going to be you. I don't know why, but
hey, Scott, good to see you. Mentor. I think he said misspelled mental.
I am. Oh, Jim, I don't think he did. Thank you very much. He understands that I'm like a giant mint. I'm a mentor. Oh no, wait, that's
looking forward to hopefully hooking up with Jason in about 3 years' time when I travel to Japan, have some sake or something in Akihabara.
When do you plan to travel to Japan?
My wife and I are going to be celebrating our 20th wedding anniversary in 2023, and we are saving right now to go to Japan for 2 weeks.
Okay, so she's going to celebrate by running away from you to Japan, and you're going to follow her, right?
Exactly.
Oh, that's why you're going. I see. There's a very thin line between a jilted lover and a stalker.
She has been doing a hell of a job learning the language. She's very dedicated to it. She works on it every night. And she's come a long way. She's like reading anime and boxes and stuff. It's great.
Wow. So, wow. I can't even begin to imagine learning a second language. I barely have English down pat. And
there's Spanglish, and there's a few others there that might be a little bit more your caliber, but Japanese, man, with its 3 different alphabets, they're all
Hey, what do you mean my caliber?
Scott, at your advanced age at this point.
I mean, clearly Esperanto is something that you should try to learn.
One more crack about my age, and by God, I'm gonna probably throw me.
We don't use Latin or Aramaic anymore, so.
And that's my native language. I should know that by now.
I made a joke.
Pesto.
I made a joke about Randy was on JD Calderon's show the other night, and I said, Randy, I decided to turn around on him. I said, Randy, what do you have against high quality, glossy, expensive, smooth paper in comics? What's the problem? What do you have against it? He didn't have anything against it. And Ralph Griffith said, Varian, you don't get the smell. You got to get that newsprint so you can get the smell. And I told him, I said, that smell was asbestos, guys.
Apparently, you can grow up with it being integrated into your DNA, so you can't really judge.
I mean, once
You
you've got
gotta be locked
asbestos,
into
there's
a
no
room
going
of a
back.
roll comic for about a month, and then you'll come out being completely changed. Oh my God, the smell! It is so aromatic. It is so old.
All right, we have to call pencils down. We've been at this for a long time. Everybody, let's pull it back, and let's show the art one final time. We have a few seconds left to get your votes in. We have spy tattoos with Iron Man, Judge Dredd, Princess Ariel, and Hot Stuff from Harvey Comics sitting high atop his Mount Rushmore. Beautiful color there. Red Robot checking in with James T. Kirk, Spider-Man, Snake Eyes from the G.I. Joe franchise, and the awesome Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots from Transformers.
Optimus Prime, roll out.
And we're rolling right into Goblin Grimm, who has got Stephen King, Stan the Man Lee, a couple of really great Elvira, and of course, Freddy Krueger, rounding out his mountain of Mount Rushmore. So tonight's challenge was to do your nerd Mount Rushmore. What got you into this crazy world of geekdom? And some great entries. Love to hear the ones from the chat that we've had. Some really great stuff. Nice having the Honorable Scott Rosema come in and chime in with his.
Zim Falabi.
How to vote, asks Jason. We got a straw poll just above in the comments there somewhere. So look for that straw poll. And we'll give Jason a couple of minutes here to get that done. Yep, there's a few more copies and pastes. So there's plenty of straw poll for everybody. And yeah, certainly a really good challenge. Loved being able to do this type of thing. And I think it's something that just about everybody can relate to, because we all have our influences wherever they come from, however they influence us. And they really kind of make us who we are as creative individuals. I definitely would have Optimus Prime on mine. Now that I think about it, definitely Red Sonja as well. I love the Barbarian World of Conan. And, Conan would be great, but I like chicks too, so definitely got to have Red Sonja in there. Natsu from Fairy Tail, definitely a strong one on there for me.
Red Sonja would be awesome.
You know what? I'll throw Bob Layton up on mine for my biggest creative influence, and that would probably round up my top 4.
Oh, you probably fell with Bob's rendition of Iron Man's armor,
Oh,
right? The inking.
So hard for it. The rending style has always been an influence on me. So,
Well, hey, Red Robot, what are you doing eating in front of me? You know that drives me crazy.
Yeah. Look at Dreaded. Look at this. Look at this thing. I got hanging
oh,
on the wall.
nice. Kind of a sugar skull style Iron Man. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was doing it with Batman.
Very
I
cool.
love striping. I love Iron Man, so I had to put the two together.
That's
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
Thank you.
All right, Jason has cast his vote, so we're going to call it on that. Varian, let's see the results. Anytime now. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so we have.
Woo! What?
I can barely read that. You want to read that, Varian? You want to pop back in here? Okay, there we go. Never mind.
Oh, thank
Pick
you.
one. Either come back in or make it bigger. All right, so we have Red Robot coming in with third place with 1 vote.
Yay.
Goblin with looks like 3 votes or 2 votes. It's kind of fuzzy. Second
That's
place.
3.
And our winner of the Rushmore Challenge and taking home a $25 cannot talk tonight. $25 gift card to Hobby Lobby is Spy Tattoo. Congratulations. Good work.
Awesome.
Whoa.
Congratulations. All you guys did really good work. I'm really impressed the fact you did this live on this show, and you did as much work as you did in the time allotted. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was tough. I saw Goblin kicking off and going his route, and I have to get it done after that. Goblin's fast.
Pretty awesome.
Congratulations, Spy Tattoo, and I'll meet you at Hobby Lobby to help you spend that money.
I'd love that. That'd be awesome.
One last time, we're going to let everybody tell us where you can find it. Spy Tattoo, where can they find you to see your artwork online?
It's Spy Tattoo on Instagram right now. I got Spy Tattoo everywhere, really. It's everywhere, but on Twitch and YouTube. But Spy Tattoo on Instagram is where I'm at. You'll
That's
see
where you
a
spend the majority of
tiger
your
with
time.
eyeballs.
All right. All right, that's
Yeah,
Spy Tattoo on Instagram, guys. Please go
Yeah.
and like his page and follow him for more recipes.
Awesome.
Follow, because I want to rebrand. I don't really do too many tattoos anymore, so I'm rebranding into my new art gig.
Awesome, very cool. And here we have Red Robot. Red Robot, where can the wonderful folks find you on the lines?
Well, right now for my 3D work, you can find me at Red Robot on Instagram and Facebook. But I think I'm going to shift over to another account for my 2D artwork so people can find me there who may not necessarily like the 3D stuff.
All right, sounds
Do
good.
that.
All right, and we will probably see more of you in the future. And here we have Goblin Grim. Wonderful ink wash drawing. Thank you so much for another great weekend.
The giant hand.
Where can everybody find you at, Gobby?
Oh, oh, here we go.
Isn't working very good. So
All right, so we have Goblin Grim. That is with 2 M's, GOBLINGRIMM on Instagram. Art of Seth. Can't read that rest of that.
Pull it away just a little bit, Seth. Maybe it'll focus in or something. Yeah, I can actually read it a little bit better.
Art of Seth. What does it say? Ariel Albar?
no, ain't there.
Okay.
Polish.
And the DeviantArt Goblin Grim on DeviantArt as well. Hashtag Goblin Grim.
Maybe we can post that info on the site so it even more clearly shows. You can almost read it, but
Yeah, we'll have these things in the comments on the YouTube video as well. Glenn Ford checking in, saying great artwork, guys. And we want to give Glenn an opportunity to plug himself if he can. Glenn, where can we find you at?
Just in case Glenn's doesn't write it, but he's Ionicus Toy Review on YouTube. He does action figure reviews. He beats us to all the best action figures in the toy stores, and then he does reviews of them by taunting us. You can't get this one. You can't get this one. Jason says Scott should do voiceover work. He does do voiceover work. I've got a book on Amazon Prime as Scott's voice work.
oh boy, I'm glad you said that out loud. I thought his comment says Scott should do VD. I thought I've done that too. So.
Good for that. You can find me on YouTube and Instagram as Ionicus Toy Review. That's IONACUS Toy Reviews.
Awesome.
All right. So anyway, once again, thanks to all of our artists for Art of War. Great job tonight, guys, with this awesome little tribute
Good
to
work.
Mount
Good
Rushmore.
job.
And thank you for joining us on another episode of Art of War. Thanks for special guest Scott Rosema coming in, giving us his 3 cents. And of course, Randy with his little education there on Harvey Comics. Hopefully we can get Scott Rosema in here drawing. That would be a personal goal of mine post.
It all depends how much money you pay me. That's all it takes.
Anyways, thank you again. Join us next week when we'll have some more people drawing something for a wonderful prize that they won't know until the last minute. Full applause and take us out.
Look out!